Hello everyone, today we're going to be watching even fancier paintings by Incognito mode of Internet Historian. Let's check it out in the count of 3, 2, 1, go.
NordVPN isn't like the other girl.
Go to ExpressVPN once in a while, for fuck's sake. NordVPN isn't that good.
Hello, Incognito mode videos now. Alright, so the schedule for this mini-series goes like this. We did the main channel on theater, then an incognito mode on painting, which is this. Then there's a main channel on wine, and then an incognito mode.
That's not true. That's not true. You made so many incognito things about various, just subjective stuff, and none of the alternative versions came before on the main channel. You're lying to us, Drogan.
Alright, so the schedule for this mini-series goes like this. We did the main channel on theater, then an incognito mode on painting, which is this. Then there's a main channel on wine, and then an incognito mode on a bunch of stories around wine. And there's a main channel on things that people wear. There's a main channel on luxury goods, and then we round the whole thing off with 2 more incognito modes. And then I go back into cryostasis. This first section is on the basics of painting, and we were a little bit worried to show it because we kind of felt like this will split the audience. Not because it's political or anything, but because it's so basic. So someone who already knows something about art would be like,
I don't know shit about art.
Like, yeah, of course. Why are you telling me?
Why the fucking
But for someone like me, who knows practically zero about art, I found it really interesting, and I thought, why the heck haven't I been told this before, right?
I'm the perfect audience.
So, first section.
Alright, quiet on the set.
Basics of painting.
Alright.
Action!
The arts. The arts. Do not put an F in front of that. Worst mistake I ever made. Alright, first, some things that'll make you go, yeah, and?
Maybe.
Or, oh, right.
Right.
So look at this colorful goo.
Ew.
Paint.
That's
Delicious in
toothpaste?
both jam and chip form. But its raw components are just 2 essential things. An undissolving pigment and a medium. Now, pigments are basically just colorful dust.
I learned pigments from Jeffree Star's videos of all things. Like, seriously. Like, that was like 2-3 years ago. That's the only thing I know about pigments.
Now, pigments are basically just colorful dust.
Alright.
And the medium is the liquidy thing that the dust hangs out in.
Is it pure water?
Now, the liquid determines what type of paint you have.
Oil.
Pigment plus water equals watercolors. Pigment plus glue equals acrylics. Pigment plus oil equals oil paints. So
most obvious
and
one.
pigment plus, moving on. Now, the pigment's oil equals oil
The
paints.
fuck was that?
So simple. And pigment plus
Milk? Wait, pigment plus milk, is that... I assume the pigment isn't eatable, so that's just
now,
wasted
the pigment
milk.
does not dissolve into the medium. Instead, it's just kind of suspended in it. When the pigment does dissolve into a medium, that's a dye.
Oh,
so that's the basic
shit.
difference. Now, you have to...
Okay, that changes so many of my knowledge of what paintings actually are. So majority of the things we actually use are dyes. We dye the wall. I did because I collect... Oh my god, this is just amazing.
That's a dye. So that's the basic difference. Now, you have to transfer the paint onto the canvas. To do that, we need to talk tools.
Okay. Can someone explain what are the plastic ones? Because I wanted to paint this green screen right here, and it was made of caoutchouc, the foams. And any other paint would basically dissolve it. And the only one that worked was the plastic paints that were gluey too. I don't know, are those the same one? Are those the glue ones?
That's a dye. So that's the basic difference.
That's crazy.
Now, you have to transfer the paint onto the canvas. To do that, we need to talk tools. Well, first, you can just use your fingers. It was good enough for the cavemen, and it's good enough for your mom. So it's good enough for us.
Jesus.
Then we tried brushes. Now here is the anatomy of a brush. You've got the handle, the bristles, the ferrule, and the crimp.
Oh,
Now the
God.
bristles are the most important bit. First we were just using mangled up reeds called fronds, but they got really good once we started using animal
God,
hair.
friends,
Have a look
music,
at some
oh,
of the animals we used. Paw, taken from the neck or the back of the pig. That is the kind
That's
of brush
crazy.
that Van Gogh used, and it's still the gold standard for today. A goat brush. It's good, but it's not the goat. Lacks some spring,
that's
so it's
okay.
mostly used for calligraphy.
But it is. Wait,
Badger.
wait, it is though.
But it's not the goat. Lacks some spring, so it's mostly used for calligraphy. Badger.
Calligraphy, I see people sometimes disregard it as like a forgotten. Bro, calligraphy is still used primarily as an artistic text, like literally as an artistic text in advertisements. We use it. We use it because every language has its own beautifying version. You know, like it's not just Chinese and Japanese; it's everywhere. Every
But it's not
language
the-
has its own version.
Lacks some spring, so it's mostly used for calligraphy.
That's awesome.
Badger. Now that's actually mostly used for shaving, not painting at all.
Oh,
Horse, raccoon, and wolf,
I know a horse used for music as well.
also not great quality. But
Poor
what's
horse.
the worst quality of all? You know, the gutter oil of the brush world. Well, the worst quality is camel hair brushes, and they're mostly sold as arts and crafts brushes for kids. But the weird thing is, camel hair is so low quality that it's not even used in brushes at all. Huh? Yes, so-called camel hair brushes are actually made from cats and rabbits and squirrels.
I didn't expect Dark Edge Drow to kick the squirrels. You always use a speak with animals. Oh my god, that poor.
But that makes people
squirrel.
kind of sad. So they changed the name to a much less cute animal, and also one that's kind of exotic, so you wouldn't question it. Now, what's
That's okay. I didn't know that camel's hair is so shit. Okay, another fucking fail for Middle East. God, fuck you, man. You have to just. But camels can move in the heat. No horse can do that shit. Probably. But again, I had no idea that camels were just the lowest of the low in the shithole of brushes. And the fact that they don't even use real camels because they're so shit.
the best
that's
brush of
embarrassing.
all? What is the S tier of brushes? Those are made
Human?
from sable.
Oh my god, this, of course. 10 out of 10.
Now, sable is a type of weasel. These are hunted for their fur for clothing.
Oh no. Oh no, poor it looks so adorable.
But when they catch them to make clothes, they actually only want the body for the clothes, and so they discard
Oh,
the tail
God.
altogether. But those tails have the best hair for paintbrushes, and so they are snatched up by the brush makers. Now the
Makes
hair is
sense.
special because it has an interlocking scales that vastly increases the surface area, but it also holds strong in the long term.
Oh my
Firm
god.
And bouncy, but also soft.
It's smooth. It bounces. It moves. Only with new Tresemme Keratin Smooth.
And they sell for upwards of $300
Imagine your fucking hair is being used to make art with it. To be fair, that's an honor. That's an honor, right?
a brush.
God. Someone needs to start growing these motherfuckers as like pets. If they were delicious, it would be so much cheaper.
Alright, here's a top 10 list, sort of maybe Watch Mojo style, of the most famous paintings.
Fuck Watch Mojo. Fuck Watch Mojo. Majority of the shit is just bullshit. Some of their stuff, it just doesn't even make any sense. Some of their stuff they're making up. They just go to Wikipedia and make a top 10 list out of nothing. Fuck them. To be fair, some of their stuff is good, but off the side, not in YouTube.
Alright, here's a top 10 list, sort of maybe Watch Mojo style.
Nah,
of
don't do that.
The most
You're
famous
amazing.
paintings, and just a few interesting things about them that you may not know.
Alright?
Pop quiz, sports shoe wearer. Look at this painting. What does it make you
don't know this.
feel?
Extremely abstract. Like, look at that. But I just see the white strips as something.
Too late. Or if you answered in time, wrong answer. Happy, sad, I bet those are the only two emotions you even know.
No, those are not even the first.
The correct answer is
steps of
shame,
emotions.
because you are embarrassing yourself. You know nothing about the arts. So it is time to look at the best paintings to ever exist. And let's begin with the most
Mona Lisa?
obscure of them all. Whoever this is.
Why Mona Lisa is just... Wait! No, man! Oh my god, it's Sky... No, man, I mean, I'm Super Mario.
The
That's
Mona
awesome,
Lisa.
Paper.
Now, I thought it went
Mario.
first name Mona, last name Lisa. Check it out. But turns out Mona is an honorific, meaning madam. So it's Madam
all right.
Lisa. Now, relatively recently, historians have figured out who she actually is, and they found out that she's married to a Florentine merchant, Francesco del Giocondo. So that makes her Lisa del Gioconda, and that
Okay.
explains the alternative title of the work, La Gioconda.
All
Now,
right,
the
that makes
reason
sense.
she has her arms crossed and is a little bit chubby is because she's pregnant. In fact, you can kind of see that she's wearing a
bless your
veil,
heart.
and that particular type of veil was worn by pregnant women at the time. Her husband commissioned the painting when Da
That's
Vinci
actually
was
interesting.
already...
So people know in emergency times that would like just like help them first, or because they are like pregnant and like carrying a child. So that would actually make sense to identify people who might in an emergency need extra help.
known. So it would have been very expensive, and that makes it very funny for a couple of reasons. And that particular type of veil was worn by pregnant women at the time. Her husband commissioned the painting when Da Vinci was already well known, so it would have been very expensive, and that makes it very funny for a couple of reasons. One, it was never handed over to the family. Instead, Leo left it in his will to his apprentice. And two, because for a couple of hundred years, the prevailing theory was that she was not an aristocratic wife, but instead a prostitute. Her hair being down and her almost absent eyebrows were common traits of working girls at the time. Anyway, why is this painting...
Like I needed that image.
painting so famous?
Jesus.
Well, Da Vinci was already pretty famous, and the painting got stolen. This became a very big news story, and her face suddenly started getting plastered on a whole bunch of newspapers and wanted posters, making her very recognizable.
Pat on the back.
From there, she became the
That'd be true though.
most famous painting, which is why she always looks so smug. Starry Night, Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
I sure hope it does.
Painted while he was in the St. Paul de Musol Asylum. That's here. And this was the view from his bedroom window. Here is the real view a few decades later. He chose not to paint the metal bars. Now, you can see
Makes
that there
sense.
are 11 stars in the sky here. Supposedly, that's reference to Joseph from the Bible. Joseph, he had a hard life. The minivan, he had a hard life too. And he hoped that he would be remembered.
What? Oh my god, that previous joke about I hope it goes was about minivan.
The minivan, he had a hard life too.
That's funny.
And he hoped that he would be remembered at least once he was gone, like Joseph. And you know what?
That's fucked up.
It worked out for him because
sad.
everybody remembers Van Gogh, and nobody remembers the guys who bullied him.
That's a very interesting assault, though. The way the lines like converge and create this beauty, rather than dots or pixels being
And
the,
you know
the
what?
conduit.
It worked out for him because
love
everybody remembers Van Gogh, and nobody remembers the guys who bullied him and called him
Van
a
Gogh.
ginger.
What's
Also,
an
there's kind of a
amazing-
theory that he was killed by some kid. Go check out Wendigoon's channel for more information on that one. Ah, the
That dude's like, okay, I mean, I tried watching some of the iceberg stuff, but they were some of them so terrifying. Like, seriously, some of them so terrifying. So I just go like Pixar like stuff, like Pixar iceberg. So I just like, I can handle my broken heart. Because some of the stuff go deeply into some messed up shit that is just on Wikipedia. You only read about it on Wikipedia, and God.
birth of Venus.
Amazing
All right,
guy.
let me
though.
tell you what's happening
Amazing
in
channel.
this one. So, there's this lady, Venus. She is the goddess of beauty. And she is
Yes.
coming up out of the ocean in a big clam, right? Now, the clam is not a metaphor for her vagina. It's that she is the perfect pearl. Get it? Now,
Okay.
These two here
Thanks
are a
for
divine
clarification
wind.
twice.
They are blowing her like a hot spoonful of soup towards the shore. And she is carried all the way over to the beach. And this beach, by the way, is a real place called Paphos. It's in Cyprus. Here is what it looks like in real life. Now, when she arrives on the beach, a nymph shows up, which is this lady here, and she has a cloak, and she throws the cloak over Venus, and she says, "You know what? You're very special. One day they're gonna name a 4-blade razor after
Oh no!
you."
Oh god, yeah, that worked out.
Arrangement in black
fair, that's
and
an
grey
honor
number
too.
1. Also
Jesus.
known as Whistler's mother, most famous for its appearance in the Mr. Bean movie. Now, when Whistler's
Amazing,
mother
the best
originally
comedian there
agreed
ever
to be
was.
painted, she agreed to be painted standing up, but she had to pose for so long that eventually she got quite tired and had to sit down. Here you go. And that became the famous pose. The Garden of Earthly
It's a
Delights.
beautiful pose.
All right, this one is probably...
But again, why? Oh my god, yeah, this is. I've seen this before. Just the amount of detail and bullshit that's happening. It's like a different word, multiple different words with all their unique characters. This is like was the mindset of MMORPG players before they could make an MMORPG game. Like, look at this. Like, this is like an MMO. Seriously, look how many different characters and classes and environments there is. It's so beautiful.
The Garden of Earthly Delights.
All
All right, this one is probably my favorite because it looks like a Where's Waldo, and then the whole thing just goes completely off the rails. So, Mr. Hieronymus. That's a name that's going to make a comeback.
Looks
is
almost
doing
like
all
Elden
of this
Ring.
cool, surreal stuff about 500 years ago.
Jesus!
So let's start on the left. Here is Adam and Eve, and the pre-incarnation of Jesus.
Oh
and
my
they are all
God.
hanging out in the Garden of Eden.
So it
Now,
starts
what's going
from
on
the
in the middle?
beginning of everything.
That's harder
Not
to
every,
explain.
okay, not every. Is Bible like in Bible? Adam and Eve are like their corruption, at least like Eve's corruption at the beginning of everything. I assume so. Maybe like because the 7
Now, what's
days
going
and
on
shit.
in the middle bit? That's harder to explain. The best theory is either that this is Eden, if people were allowed back into the garden, or if they had never left in the first place, or if man had not committed original sin. But look at the size of that strawberry. Oh, here he is. Then on the right-hand panel is hell,
Okay.
or at least
Wow.
a very bad time. This is where Oddlaw would
I
end up. That's
love that.
son of a bitch. Right,
All the
now,
reverse
here's the
vault.
interesting bit. It's not painted on a typical canvas. It's actually a sort of cabinet thing with 3 panels called a triptych. And the neat thing is, if you close the doors, more painting. That is the earth, and
That's
that
so
is
cool.
the firmament. A
And that's inside of it. Oh my god, Jesus, that's so
perfect
good.
balance between flat earth and globe theory. A Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grangette. This thing is pretty big, and here's the real-life place it was painted after. Although they've beautified it even more with the office building at the back. What you may not know is that it is actually a sequel. First, George Seurat painted the left bank, and that's where all the working class sit. You see these guys that, you know, have a bit less money and stuff. Gross!
He's still enjoying some life,
And then
goddamn.
this is the one that you all know, and that is on the right hand.
Why is that lady's ass just pushed down? Hopefully there is something feathery there. It's like it's not that is not the ass, because that looks like a centaur.
Bank. And all these people are very
Like a miniature
bougie sort.
centaur that didn't grow
That
long.
is Scrappy Doo. And that's a monkey.
Why are you
The
explaining
Last
those?
Supper. Okay, so the scene is this.
The best
All
picture.
the disciples are gathered around, and this is the exact moment that Jesus declares, "Hey, by the way, I know one of you betrayed me." And
You
this
know
is
who?
everyone's shocked reaction to the
fucking
news.
knife, dude.
Except there's one guy who's just pretending to be shocked.
Yeah.
And here is who everyone is.
Wait. Where is a knife, dude? I swear there was a guy with a knife somewhere. Oh yeah, this motherfucker. Look, Peter. Wait, why is Peter holding a knife when Judas is an asshole? Who's John? Why is someone just named John? Was there, I mean, to be fair, these are all biblical names. Thomas, Phillips, Matthew. My God. This thing, this was for a long time a conspiracy theory in Middle Eastern countries. I think some of the American countries too. That Jesus was a genie, and the person who made this was a Freemason. That's why this is just another plea to Freemasons and the Illuminati and shit. That's the most crazy thing I heard here, to be fair. I don't know if it was a conspiracy theory over there, but by now I just realized that this is the Last Supper beautiful painting, and I've seen it multiple times. It's amazing.
I thought this was Mary, by the way. Turns out that's John. Very progressive. And that's all of the paintings.
Jonathan.
No one has attempted one since.
End of part.
And I wake up. Quickly, flip the Nord logo. Mariana.
Oh, that looks like an iceberg, almost.
Flip it the other way. 3 pyramids.
Fuck.
Solving the mysteries.
There's not much time. I gotta log into NordVPN so the...
Give me a second. There are like few bugs in my room that are killing me. Let me destroy them. Okay, so I failed at destroying one fly. Let's continue.
Corporations can't track me. Marketing companies get...
I'm sorry, what? Was that this?
There's not much time. I gotta log into NordVPN so the corporations can't track me.
Okay,
Marketing
thank
companies
God.
gang stalking
Oh my
me, listening to me
God.
through the walls. We found the death note. Wake up again. I don't have much time. The feds are
Stop that! My door is right there. This is terrifying.
at my door. Open up! I refuse to take my Nord milk pills. I wake up again. The demon in the corner of my room wants to access my NordVPN.
No.
I let him, because I can use it on up to 6 different devices.
Thanks, Nordman.
I know the corporations are building profiles on me. I go to Facebook, I go to Wikipedia, then suddenly I'm getting ads for feet on my Facebook. Big feet, big foot, big farm. On Tuesday, I saw a red car. Coincidence? Huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 bonus months, 4 sides to a triangle.
Yeah, because people want to buy the 2-year plan. Because that's always fucking gonna happen. Make it 6 months.
Coincidence? There's a guy reacting to my life in the corner right now. 30-day money-back guarantee. What's the
That's your
goddamn
friend?
catch? Time's going faster than usual, and only a limited time to get a great deal on a 2-year plan. I wake up again. It's the perfect Christmas present.
Who are you?
Wait a minute. My family died in a suspicious house fire. Skinwalker in my house. Changed location to Finland. Different regions have different prices on plane tickets and hotels. That ain't even a conspiracy. I take more microplastics so I can see through the ether.
We're coming in, Nordman.
Pizza time.
But they're too late. I click Hyperborea and I am untouchable. If you understood anything that happened in this ad, go to nordvpn.com/incognito to get a huge deal
my
on a
God.
2-year plan plus 4 bonus months.
Okay, that was the most crazy thing happened.
Ad over. Alright, so this one is about how to spot a fake painting. I quite like this section, but it kind of got bogged down by all of its technical information, and it went quite long. So, here it is, for the discerning audience. How to spot a fake painting. Glug, glug, glug. Oh my
Drink your
god.
milk.
Is that a real Michelangelo? We're here now. Quick hypothetical lower tax brackets. If paintings like this one or this one
Come on.
go for literally
You don't have to say. You don't have to make poor jokes at every fucking time. Seriously.
billions of dollars, that's USD, then what's to stop someone from doing this? Then this.
Yeah.
And then this. Then this.
Exactly.
And then saying,
To be fair, a fucking texture of an oil painting is so fucking obvious. Like, there is no copying that. Unless you paint it again.
it's real when it ain't. You know, faking a painting. Turns out, not much at all.
It's kind of
In
impossible.
fact, it can be very difficult to tell these fake-ass paintings from the ones that keep it real. There's a whole ass art to detecting these fakes.
Wait! But... Wait, really? I assume they know if it's printed. But to be... I don't know. To be fair, if the painter is professional enough, there is no texture.
And it's become an arms race,
Crazy.
where the authenticators find new ways of detecting, and the fakers find new ways to get around their methods.
technology's advanced. Do you think that makes it harder to make good forgeries?
Nah, you can beat the forensics.
So, authentication. There are three main categories.
That's insane.
Provenance,
Let's watch
connoisseurship, forensics. Let's start in alphabetical order. Provenance. Now, provenance follows the history of the painting, tracking down the previous sellers and the buyers, all the galleries that exhibited it,
Okay.
the hand-to-hand
So
that it was
receipts,
passed
basically.
through, all the way back to the original painter. However, the older the work, the harder it is, generally, to track the provenance.
Oh, God.
Take, for example, the most expensive painting ever sold, the Salvator Mundi, the final Da Vinci, sold in 2017 for $400 million.
Fuck me! You know how many 490s that can buy? We can just supply the gamers with graphics cards. Who wants to fucking watch a painting? It's Jesus! It's Jesus! Jesus would have wanted us to buy something else. With the 400 million. Oh my God, I'm living on $2.
And it can only be traced back
It's that prince. I
to
don't know.
1958. Back then, it was sold for £45. But in the other 500 years of its history, no one knew where this thing was. Even today, people still dispute whether it's genuine.
I think it's a real flim-flam. And this is a made-up piece of junk. I think it's fake art news. Real in drag.
Oh my God, how much hate can you have? Kaiki taught me anything, if Kaiki taught me anything, if the fake and the real thing are so indistinguishable together that you can't really say, and you need to put so much effort to authenticate them, who gives a fuck? The fake is far more valuable than the real one because it's putting so much effort to be the real one. That's what he said. To be fair, it doesn't make sense when I say
It
it.
turns up in America? In New Orleans? Oh, I see. I think we've
Holy shit, this dude is unhinged. Oh my God, what a piece of
wished
shit.
this Da Vinci into existence. Here's the lost Leonardo that somebody once mentioned in a book.
Provenance has gotten a lot easier over time.
Oh my
You used to
God.
have to track down
This
books
dude.
and read catalogs and stuff, but now it's all online. Control plus F, there it is.
A struggling artist, the courtyard old residency in
So you see,
Munich.
kid, there's nothing online. Nothing. Tell me who you bought this from, you son of a bitch. Where did you get this? Tell me the name of the auction house
no.
that sold you it. Connoisseurship. Look
Right.
at the work. Do you believe what you are seeing? How does it look? How does it taste? Are these ballpoint pen strokes those of a master artist? Luckily, there are people like Martin Kemp, who spend their whole careers focusing on single artists.
I've been dealing with Leonardo for, I suppose, about 50 years.
They can pick out the fakes. So, for example, when he was looking at La Bella Principessa, he went, yup, he uses the Trois Crayons. He's a left-hand.
Yeah, that is dedication. 50 years on Leonardo da Vinci. To be fair, that is a good person to go after. But, holy shit. That is, okay, I have so much more respect with this guy than the other dude who was besmirching the fake so much.
Handed artist, the proportions of their head and the face are all correct. You know what? I'm going to give this a big rubber stamp right there in the middle of the painting. Confirmed.
Yeah.
So, for the fakers, they have to have a keen understanding of who they are copying. One of the best fakers, Almir de Hore, for example, mastered the brushstrokes of artists such as Matisse, Modigliani, and Renoir so well
That is
hundreds of
dedication too.
museums are currently in possession of his works without
unexposed in museums and primitive collections today. If it's so beautiful and if it's so, like, what do you call it, lore friendly to the paintings of the previous original creator, then why avoid the drama?
even knowing it.
That's
yes,
crazy.
well, Michelangelo was famous for his Cangiante painting techniques, and I can't see any of that here. You're 0 for 2, kid. You're going down.
Oh my
Forensics.
God.
This thing's going straight to the lab.
Connoisseurism
You're
is
about to have
probably
a
my
paint
favorite so far.
brush up with the law.
What?
Masterpiece? More like you're a real masterpiece of shit, kid.
Stop. Stop.
All right, now the people that solve
Jesus,
murders have
poor
really changed the game when it comes to art forgeries by implementing radiocarbon dating. Radiocarbon dating. Carbon dating? Yeah, but it's not serious. Listen, you're made out of carbon, I'm made out of carbon. Paintings are made out of carbon.
Yes,
and
alright.
when a thing is made out of carbon, there are these unusual isotopes of carbon-14, right? They're floating all throughout the air and the atmosphere.
Alright.
Now, all living things contain a trace of them. They are taken in when
Only
something
trace.
eats, breathes, anything else. And that happens continuously throughout the life cycle.
Yes.
However, when the organism dies, it stops taking in new carbon, right? Which means it stops taking in new carbon-14. Same thing
So the
happens to a
carbon
painting. You've stopped putting paint on the
ages.
thing, no more carbon. Carbon-14 is an unstable isotope, and it decays at a very steady rate.
Okay,
It
so we
turns into
can
nitric-
see the age of it by basically deducting the amount that is
14
left
and a
from the
beta
original.
particle.
That's insane.
And because these carbon-14 atoms decay at a very steady
Science.
rate, in principle, you can look at the proportional number of carbon-14 atoms and determine how old something is. More carbon-14, newer painting.
Yeah.
Less
And
carbon-14, older painting.
More likely original.
In
yeah.
1985, using this technique, they caught a guy, Robert Trotter, who
Because
forged
obviously a fake can't come up before the painting, the original. So yeah, that makes
Sarah
that makes it
Honfeld.
so much.
far too many
Legitimate, more
carbon-14
legitimate.
atoms. Lock 'em up, boys. But there are even simpler methods of
that's
testing
interesting.
the age of a pigment. 3 Jackson Pollock paintings were found to be fake when it was determined that the pigments on the canvas weren't sold until the 1960s. But Pollock was
Okay, that
dead
is it.
by
That's the big flaw.
1956. Nowadays, there are huge pigment libraries that can be easily cross-referenced.
God,
So that shows the
prehistory.
year
Bone black. Bone black. I mean, it's used now. Amber, red ochre. Prehistory. What is prehistory? That is medieval? Then what is antiquity? Bro, what the fuck are these? These look like fucking age of mythology ages. What? Mystical almost. Indigo. That's crazy.
pigment was first introduced,
What is
and
lead
what
white?
year it stopped being used. For example, anything
assume
that has
lead is
titanium white has to have been produced in the last 80 years. I'm going to be honest with you, kid. Michelangelo never used the yellow Crayola. X-rays. Now, you can blast this thing with some
That kid didn't
radiation
either.
and look behind the painting to see what's underneath. For example, did the artist do a sketch first? Maybe this is painted
Oh
over
my
something
god,
else.
that's insane.
If you look behind the Mona Lisa, you can actually see that she had a much larger head once, although maybe it just shrunk with age.
Maybe hair.
And you can see that veil much more easily. Also, if you x-ray even further, you can see her fully formed
No.
skeleton. But the art forgers of today are a wily bunch. Forgers can source old canvases from the correct period. They can use error-matching pigments.
What? No, fuck no. Oh my god, now they're fucking faking how the fuck did they get their hands on these pigments then?
Even the carbon dating can be a bit unreliable. Heck, even the x-rays can be bullshitted, as forgers take into account that their work will be x-rayed, as they
So
do
they
a sort
just-
of fake painting of sketch first, and then paint
That's awesome. Okay,
the
props
next
to them.
version on top.
More smart.
Alright, kid, I'll give you $20,000 for this, or a shiny new bottle of Ritalin.
That's the second
Works
one
every
costs
time.
less. Seriously. Fucking Ritalin. It just makes you more hyperactive. In the part. What's next part?
This section is about Shakespeare. Wow, that would make so much sense for it to be in the theatre video on the
Why
main
would
channel.
Shakespeare be a painter? Was he a painter?
This
Maybe.
dude showed up and changed the game. Shakespeare.
Okay.
Here's the thing though. We basically know nothing about him. First,
Excuse me?
we don't know what he looked like. There are two best guesses. One is from this engraving on a first folio.
All right.
But that wasn't put together until 7 years after he was already dead. One of his peers, Ben Johnson,
So no confirmation.
knew him though and said, yeah, it's pretty close. So maybe. The second is a bust that was made for his grave. There are a bunch of others, but they weren't commissioned by Shakespeare himself.
We know that he looks like that, though, at least the artistic of the face and the hairstyle.
They weren't done while he was alive, and he didn't exactly stop to pose for them. But these are the ones we most recognize him by.
Why not?
This includes Chandos, which is probably the most recognizable. So this could be him, or this could be some completely other dude, or it could be an idealized version. Now, we
Makes
also
sense.
don't know
Like Jesus.
exactly when he was born, or when he died, or how he died. His birthday is celebrated on the 23rd of April, but there's no record of that. And then he died on the 23rd of April as well. So he died on his birthday.
2 years old, that's
Odd coincidence.
okay. Died
But
young.
we know that he did marry a lady named Anne Hathaway.
Is she alive?
Same as Catwoman, but this
And
one's what?
Hathaway, bro, I heard about that name. Isn't there literally a play about that?
Was the original.
Oh my
We also
god.
don't even really know how to
At least the
spell his
name
name.
is so familiar.
There are tons of different signatures by him, but they're practically all spelt differently. And let's not even get
What's
started on
wrong
the
with this
conspiracies
dude?
of whether or not he really wrote his plays. The son of two illiterate parents from a lower-class neighborhood suddenly becoming the world's greatest playwright?
Weird.
Bit suspicious. Also, whether he was gay, or worse, whether he was foreign, or what the hell is going on with his grave? So if you go to the Holy was foreign, or what the hell?
What? Yeah, why is it?
Is going on with his grave? So
What's
if
up
you
with
go
the
to the
golden
Holy Trinity Church in
kettles?
Stratford, there is his grave. There,
Bro, there's little a kettery and there is a samovar, there's like TS. Oh my god. This is why is there no Is he like in the next to other like artists and shit? This place looks actually very well dignified.
he lays, but there is an engraving above him. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he who moves my bones.
Oh
Cursed, you see.
god.
You're not allowed to dig him up. So everyone is super spooked out by the curse, and they refuse to dig him up. So archaeologists instead have done radar scans. Turns out, his head is missing. He was grave robbed in 1794. So we can't even reconstruct him that way.
Oh, what? How the fuck is Shakespeare's head missing, man? And why is there a bit? How the fuck is the museum and archaeologists believe in superstitions? I mean, to be fair, they are archaeologists. That is the whole reason they are in superstitions. My god.
And they won't open it up for DNA tests. So
God damn
it's
it.
likely that we will never know the truth.
Someone needs to tunnel down and pick it up and then scan it and put it back in there. Because like, what the fuck? Who's the chess? Fuck them. Science matters more than your petty ideologies.
The government is hiding something. The point is, Shakespeare stole a theatre at one point. Okay, quick Shakespeare moment. In 1599,
right.
Shakespeare was working as
What's
a
he doing on
playwright with
crack,
his
too?
acting troupe called the Lord Chamberlain's Men. Now, they were leasing out a theatre in Shoreditch called the Theatre. Creative
Makes
name.
sense.
Anyway, they had a disagreement with their landlord, Giles Allen.
Giles? That's a name? Giles? Oh god.
Revoked
What a name.
their lease.
Sorry, people whose
Shakespeare
name
and
is
the
Giles.
Chamberlain's men were not very happy about that, but they had no option but to walk away. But a few days later, in the dead of night, they came back.
Oh my
Now, the group
god,
met up just
sixfold.
outside the theatre, and they had bribed the watchmen to look the other way. Then, with daggers and tools in hand, they broke into the theatre. Now, they weren't there to kill Giles, and they weren't there to steal stuff from the theatre.
Why the fuck?
They were there to rob the theatre. They tore down the entire building, piece by piece, and they started carting it away to a warehouse. From there, they
Okay,
ferried
that's
it
bold.
across the Thames and over
Okay.
to Southwark. with the materials that they stole, they constructed the Globe Theatre. And there it stood for the next 14 years until it burnt down. Whoops. It was a performance of Henry VIII, and a prop cannon was involved. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, prop cannon. Okay, I was like, it's the war attack. Okay.
But then it was rebuilt. But then in 1642, it was shut down again. But in
Cursed.
1997,
Blood money,
a recreation of the Globe Theatre was made once more. And in London, you can visit it today, as long as you can avoid being stabbed.
Wait, is London very fucking people stab each other in London? What the fuck? I thought it's like isn't it like the capital? Is it the capital? Yeah, it is. No, it's Britain. Fucking idiot. I'm an idiot. That was another country, completely. And it wasn't even London. It was Berlin. So yeah, never mind.
And now for the best section of all.
Come on, people, we're ready to shoot. Where's the pizza box with the hole in it?
Oh no! Oh no! I just got that.
That's my cue. I gotta go. Catch you soon. Don't forget NordVPN.
What the fuck? Okay, so NordVPN starts and everything starts and ends with NordVPN. And to be honest, if you're using a VPN client, if you're paying for one, you should always be using it. When you wake up, you should turn it on. When you sleep, you should turn it off. So that loop actually made a lot of sense VPN-wise. But I learned so much more about like actual arts and artistic stuff and vocabulary that no, I'm not good with English, so it's actually really, really helpful to see this. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And connoisseur way of art like identifying is probably was one of the most coolest and amazing things I've ever seen. Someone knowing an artist so much that they know their movements, they know the way they sketch stuff underneath, the way they know the way they use their hands. That is like insane level of some creepy, but determination. But yeah, see you all later.